Hi, good evening. I'm Christine. I'm the host here at Yarn Mountain, and welcome to my shop. Tonight's our regular scheduled knit night, so we may have some traffic coming in and out. If you're joining us online, welcome. We'd love to hear where you're at and where you're from, and feel free to interact with us throughout the Hangout. It's pretty casual here. I'm working on a pair of socks, and I'd love to see what you guys are working on too. I've got a little bit to show you. We're going to talk through our New Zealand collection, which is a collection of fine merino wool blended with cashmere and blended with possum wool. And we'll teach you a little bit about those fibers tonight too. So as you settle in and get your coffee, whatever you need to do, take your time. Just a couple of quick housekeeping notes. If you're joining us on the Hangout, please mute your microphones or wear earbuds. I've got mine on, just to keep the feedback at a minimum. And by all means, if you have questions or would like to just interject or ask questions, you can type them in if you're online, or you can just ask them here on the Hangout. We do have space available too, so we welcome you in. So very quickly, as you come on in, you can share with me what you're working on, and I'll talk to you a little bit about my project here. And I may work on this a little bit throughout the night, and this is pretty laid back, so it's okay to just relax. This pair of socks is probably one of the longest pairs of socks I've ever knit as far as time. I started with a very simple twist. This pattern is called, let me see the actual designer's name so I get it right, Jekyll and Hyde. I downloaded this off of Ravelry, and it's designed by Sarah Wilson. It is knit in a twist pattern, right twist and left twist pattern. But it is a lot of fun, so that's a challenging project I can talk a little bit more on. But just a second to walk you through some of our New Zealand collection. We don't have a lot to show you, but we've got some really, really nice fibers. And I'm referring here to a book called The Fleece and Fiber Source Book. This is authored by Deborah Robson and Carol Acarius, and you can find this probably at any of the major bookstores or even some yarn shops or specialty fiber shops. And I'm going to refer to this because there's a lot of really valuable information where fibers are concerned, and this is sort of my go-to guide as I'm picking out yarns and certain types of fibers I'm looking for. If I'm looking for a certain feel or structure in a garment, I'll refer to this book as well. So I do recommend it. There's a picture of it. That was kind of fast. I'm sorry. I'll put it up. And we can flip back here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the merino and why merino is special. As far as wools go, merino is very commonly used as a fine fiber because it has a very soft textured feel. The fibers are tapered almost to a perfect point, so you don't get a lot of prickly feel. So it's a non-itchy wool. It's used in a lot of your next to the skin knits. And I can take you through. Didn't know where I saved my page. Okay. Cashmere goat is another fiber that we commonly have used in blended with the New Zealand wool. And it's actually the down of the cashmere goat, not so much the fiber or the hair itself, that's used to spin into the wool. Just some quick cashmere facts, if you'd like to know a little bit about cashmere. The white dye to any color, and the natural browns and grays inherit undertones to any applied color. So it's great for dyeing. Delicacy and softness characterize cashmere. What you make from it will need to be lightweight and not subjected to a lot of abrasion or wear. So it's not the best blend for socks, for instance, but it may work well in a lightweight sweater or hat or even baby items. Although it will need to be hand washed. Well-spun cashmere becomes a versatile yarn that can be used for any understated fabric, stockinette or plain weave or even single crochet that let the fibers speak, or can step back and let a lace pattern or a twill show up. And it has a haze, a halo is what it's called, around the fiber. It's a very short, soft fiber. So it's quite often blended as it is here in these New Zealand pieces that I have. what's our favorite New Zealand fiber to work with is the New Zealand brush possum fiber. And very quickly, the story on the New Zealand possum is that it was imported or brought over from Australia. Now, Australia has many natural predators that that keep the population in check. In fact, it's an endangered species in Australia. In the late 1800s, it was brought to New Zealand, and in New Zealand there aren't any natural predators for the brush-tailed possum. So since that time, it's wreaked a lot of havoc on the environment. It eats the trees, it destroys plants, and whatnot. So the government in New Zealand formed a nonprofit National Possum Control Agency in the early 1990s to coordinate the efforts of the government, along with other nonprofit organizations and private citizens, to humanely get a handle on the population takeover of the New Zealand brush possum. So part of the salvage effort there was to utilize the pelts or the fur. And what they found is that while the New Zealand possum fiber is very long, it's also hollow, and it creates a very natural insulator. So it's a very warm fiber, and it also acts as a cooling agent in hot weather. But it's most normally blended. It's a very soft, workable fiber. It comes in several colors naturally, grays through browns to blacks. It even says there's a silvery color. I haven't seen that one. But the fibers itself, the fur, is about 1 inch to 1.5 inches long. And because it's hollow, like I said, it has the insulating qualities. It's very, very soft, and it tends to form a halo or a gentle fuzz around the fabric, and it doesn't pill, from what you can see here. And I'm going to show you some of these fibers. It's almost always blended because by itself it would be rather coarse, and it's not very pliable. So when it's mixed with a merino wool or a cashmere, for instance, then you start to get the qualities that make a very, very luxurious fiber and a very soft fiber. It's stronger, however, than, for instance, an Angora fiber. I'm sorry. Let me take you through some of the garments, and we'll just do that. The line of New Zealand yarns that we carry here at Yarn Mountain is Zelana at this point, and I'm going to take you through a couple of pattern books I have here. One is called Seasonless Zelana. This cover piece is absolutely stunning. It's knit with a merino, cashmere, and possum blend. So all three fibers are blended into this garment, and I'll show it to you. So let's take a quick look at this piece. I'll open up to the pattern book so I can read you about it. This is called the Cowl Neck Pullover. It didn't have any glasses on, so I may have to hold it out a bit. This piece is designed by Jan Hurwitz, and Pretty Lace takes center stage on this versatile top, finished with an oversized rib collar. This is a chunky weight yarn, a little thicker than Aran weight, so you've got a very, very beautiful stitch definition. Now this piece is a sample and has not been washed, but if you can focus, I don't know if you can see the halo in the focus, the fuzziness. Okay. I'm starting to develop already just from being in the shop and having been tried on a few times. But as this piece is washed, the first wash will cause the yarn to bloom slightly, and then that halo will develop over time. And this particular yarn is called Tui, T-U-I, 70% New Zealand merino, 15% New Zealand cashmere, and 15% New Zealand possum wool. And this comes 120 yards per skein. There you go. I like that color. Okay, that's just a fun piece knit with Tui, and I wanted to share that with you. This particular piece, instructions are written on this piece from small to extra large. So it's a good fit, and it's a very flattering piece for everyone. You could adjust your waist or your length as needed on this. And the shawl collar is very, very, very flattering. So anyway, great piece there. I'll take you through some of these pieces. sticking with that same yarn, this piece is also knit with Tui. It's in a different pattern book. This is an individual pattern. Let me get the designer info for you. It's a very simple top-down cardigan held together with a very fine clasp. I don't have a... All right, I'm sorry. I don't have the designer name for you on that one. I've got the pattern here somewhere. It's as I said, it's a very top-down knit piece that starts with the neckline is knit all in one piece. There's some very subtle ribbing at the back. Just gives it a nice line on the back, some pleating around the waistband. And then it comes out in this very flattering knit bottom, which really makes for a beautiful A-line shape to the garment. And it's got, you can pick your clasp of choice here. This particular yarn comes in 8 different shades, I believe, and they've all got this nice natural tone to it. And the reason for that, I don't know if you can see this up close here. You see it's almost got a brown heathered look to it, or a black heathered look. That's because the possum itself does not dye, nor does it felt, by the way. So if you have a merino, wouldn't be one of them, but if it's blended with a fiber that's naturally washable, you'd have a fully washable garment. Now with the merino, you have to wash it very, very carefully because the merino will felt, and it's happy to. Okay, let me see if I have any other pieces in that yarn. Ah, yes. I've been wanting to show off my heads. I've got heads. Okay, I'm going to show you this one first. This is just a cute little pink hat made from Tui. See if I have the pattern here for that one. Do we have any questions online at this point? Okay. My patterns, I guess I have the wrong book out. But anyway, this is the pink shade. I think this is a beautiful shade of pink. It's the same one the sweater's done in. So we've got 3 little knit flowers on the peak there. Simple hat knit with a garter stitch rib, another garter stitch, rim, and another garter stitch band around it and closed off at the top. Very, very simple. Pretty those. And any of these that I don't have patterns to tell you about on the Hangout, I'd be happy to answer your questions or share that with you after the Hangout. And for those of you that are waiting online to get the discount code, hang out a little bit longer. I'll give it to you. And that code will be good until midnight tonight to take 25% off any purchase on yarnmountain.com. Now that has to be in-stock merchandise, so we can't special order at that price, but we'd be happy to let you take advantage of that with any of the in-stock items. I'm going to share with you some pieces made with a different yarn. This yarn is called Heron. It's a worsted weight blend of New Zealand merino and New Zealand possum. Comes in a cute little ball like that. I love this red. I'll give you a close-up of this red. It's got a nice black undertone to it. Here's one piece. This is called the Fern Sweater. And these pieces are found in a book called Adventurous Zelana. Let me show that to you there. And this is available on our website as well. And if you like some of these pieces here, we'll be happy to point them out to you if you need help finding them. This is the first one called the Fern Sweater, and I'll read the description on that to you as well. Let's do this. It's hiding. Page 10. I need a page turner. There we go. In the book, this was designed by Claudia Pacheco. It's available in sizes small through extra large and requires anywhere from 9 to 12 balls, 50-gram balls of hair and yarn. I don't have a description here for it so much, but I can tell you about it. The lace patterns are charted in the pattern, or the lace work is charted in the pattern. for convenience, and it can be read working both in the round and back and forth. I read all round, or let's talk more about how to read the chart. I was looking for a good description of the pattern itself. We'll just talk through it. It's knit, and front to back is knit separately. Starting at the bottom, you've got about 8 inches here of ribbing at the bottom. This is just a 1x1 rib. It creates a very unique sort of hip-hugging look there. The lace panel starts here. So you've got interchanging stockinette and lace paneling going right up the front. And so your front piece will be completed here. The back piece is a repeat of that. And then you would add on the shawl collar. The sleeves are knit separately with a smaller band of ribbing at the bottom, a nice little knitwork, and then set-in sleeves. So that's a cute pattern called the fern sweater. I call this like the teen scarf. It kind of reminds me of something that could be knit in collegiate colors or school colors for younger children, but it's a great just basic striped scarf. Hey, there's a tag. Let's see what it says. It says, can't read it. It's not very interesting. Let me see what that book has to say about this one. This one's knit with just 2 colors of heron. Heron was new this past year, so I don't know if new colors are being added for this fall yet or not. But I think there's 9 colors available now. I'm looking at the shelf over there. Anyway, that's hiding in this book as well. I didn't tell you much about that one. Other than the fringe on the end, it's really just a 2x2 rib, so there's not much to tell on this piece. Other than it really would work well for a guy or a gal or a child. So that's a pretty versatile pattern there. I'm going to show you this one. This is the men's sailing sweater. This is a favorite in our shop with a lot of our customers. It's also in the same book. This is knit for us by one of our sample knitters in Canada, so hello if you're on. Started at the bottom hem. Let me show you just a simple 2-inch ribbed hem. I'll show you that there. And then the entire front is a lace pattern. Just beautiful, beautiful handiwork this knitter did. This lace pattern travels all the way up the front to the shoulders. And the back is the same. No change. The collar is then knit taller and folded in half with a drawstring added. The sleeves are knit separately and set in as well. Just a great pullover piece for the guys. Isn't that a great? Look at that stitch definition. The stitch definition with this yarn is absolutely gorgeous. And this sweater has too started to develop a little bit of a halo, and with that graying going on in the yarn from the possum wool, it gives it almost an antique-y look. Very, very natural and casual, though. I really, really like that. I'm stepping on my sound cord, so if I all of a sudden go mute, it might be a blessing. Let me show you another great piece. Knit with heron. My head disappeared here. Got another head. This is just a great sort of a slouchy cap. This is also knit with a rib. It's got a rib band and then a different rib pattern. Looks like a mistake rib pattern for the rest of the hat without reading it to you. This is knit with just a couple balls of heron. And that works great for a guy or a gal. This is the kind I like to wear over a big hairstyle. Okay, there's that one. There's a couple other little yarns in this collection, and I don't have a sample knit up with willow right now, but willow is very, very nice yarn. This is a cashmere merino blend, so it's 30% cashmere and 70% New Zealand merino, and it comes in both a double knitting weight, a DK weight, and a chunky weight or an Aran weight. A lot of versatility there, but what a nice fiber. That's really, really nice. This time of year, we have a lot of folks asking for kiwi. Kiwi is a blend of 40% New Zealand merino, 30% organic cotton, and 30% possum wool. Very nice blend. It's lighter than the others. It's sold in both a fingering weight and a lace weight. I don't know if you can see the difference on those. Let me show them to you a little bit closer. There's the fingering, and there's the lace. So a little bit different. This possum wool does work really well for socks. So kiwi is often used for socks. The possum wool is strong, so it's very, very durable, and it'll wear well in socks. It's a good blend for that. Another yarn we have here is called Kari. Kari is a lovely blend of 60% New Zealand merino, 30% possum wool, and 10% silk. So it adds a nice feel to it. This is a very touchable yarn, so it'll work great next to the skin. I've got one pattern here. This was actually knit in heron, but it could be knit in the kiwi as well, or Kari. Kari is available in both a worsted weight and a fingering weight. This is called the floppy hat. Isn't it cute? It's knit for kids too, so that you can knit it down to a little girl size in a pink color or whatever you'd like to do. It's a great hat. Should I try it on? I'm going to try them. What do you think? Is it me? Look, it is a floppy hat. I'm getting booed. Okay, no floppy hat here. But it's a very darling pattern. It really, really is cute on the kids. Oh, what do I have here? I did find the fingering weight Kari, so I don't know if you can see this very well because it's black. But then there's worsted weight. If you look at the yellow one, let's see if you can focus for a second. Can you see that black haze in there? It's a little bit of almost a heathered look. That's what you get with the possum wool because it's the natural shade of the fibers and the dye doesn't take to the possum wool. So you do get that little bit of a heathered look. It's different than what you would traditionally see as a heathered yarn. It's a very, very natural sort of rustic, earthy look, and it's very appealing. You don't see it at all in the black, so that is probably a black possum wool pelt that was used in that. Did I miss any garments here? I think I've covered all of our New Zealand collection. If there's any